Can a state pass a law prohibiting the teaching of evolution in public schools? Or does that violate the First Amendment? To find out, you have to read Epperson versus Arkansas. But it's 14 pages. Don't have time for that? I've got you covered. This is TLDR, where normally I cover New York Court of Appeals cases in 5 minutes or less. But today, we're diving into a landmark case. This episode focuses on Epperson v. Arkansas, citation 393 U.S. 97. The United States Supreme Court published this groundbreaking decision on November 12, 1968. Now, what's the big question here? Well, it's whether Arkansas's anti-evolution statute is at odds with the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. Let's unravel this, shall we? To understand this case, we need to look at the background law. At the heart of it is the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. This clause prohibits the government from making any law respecting an establishment of religion. In simpler terms, it means that the government cannot establish an official religion, nor favor one religion over another, nor favor religion over non-religion, or vice versa. It's a cornerstone of the American principle of the separation of church and state. In the context of education, this clause has been interpreted to mean that public schools, as government entities, cannot indoctrinate students in a particular religion, and by extension, a particular religious viewpoint. This includes teaching creationism as a fact while excluding evolution, as it would amount to endorsing a particular religious view. So the question is, does the anti-evolution statute violate this clause? Now let's delve into the facts of the case. The narrative begins in Arkansas, where an anti-evolution statute was in effect. This law, enacted in 1928, prohibited public school teachers from teaching the theory of evolution, favoring instead the biblical account of creation. Enter Susan Epperson, a public school biology teacher. Epperson was handed a textbook that contained a chapter on Darwin's theory of evolution, a topic she was legally barred from teaching. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, Epperson was faced with two choices: teach the curriculum and risk violating the law, or omit a fundamental scientific theory from her lessons. This predicament highlighted the direct impact of the anti-evolution statute on her professional duties and freedom of speech. These are the facts that led to the Epperson versus Arkansas case. Next, we'll cover the procedural history. Epperson v. Arkansas first began in the lower courts of Arkansas. A biology teacher named Susan Epperson challenged the state's law that made teaching evolution illegal. The Arkansas Supreme Court upheld the law. However, Epperson stood her ground and decided to appeal. Her case went all the way to the United States Supreme Court, where the justices had to grapple with this contentious issue. That's how Epperson v. Arkansas ended up in the Supreme Court. Now, on to the Supreme Court's decision. The Supreme Court reversed the Arkansas Supreme Court's decision, with a majority opinion written by Justice Abe Fortas. The court held that the Arkansas law prohibiting the teaching of evolution violated the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, as it was based on a religious belief and not a scientific theory. The court elaborated, stating that the state could not use its educational facilities to promote the beliefs of any religion. Justice Black concurred, emphasizing that the law was an attempt by the state to hide behind a smokescreen of academic freedom to promote specific religious doctrines. Meanwhile, Justice Harlan dissented, arguing that the majority opinion was an overreach of judicial power, stating that the decision should have been left to the state. In essence, the court's decision established that states could not use their educational systems to promote specific religious doctrines, thus solidifying the separation of church and state in the education system. That was the Supreme Court's decision in Epperson v. Arkansas. Finally, let's talk about the impact of this case. Epperson v. Arkansas was revolutionary for American education. It recognized the importance of academic freedom, and that the government should not interfere with the content of public school curriculum. The case also played a significant role in the interpretation of the Establishment Clause. It clarified that states cannot favor a particular religion by prohibiting the teaching of theories that contradict religious beliefs. This landmark decision paved the way for the teaching of scientific theories like evolution in public schools, regardless of religious controversy. In essence, Epperson versus Arkansas fortified the wall separating church and state, ensuring the neutrality of the state in matters of religion. That's the lasting impact of Epperson v. Arkansas, which continues to resonate in the case law going forward.
If you like what you just saw and want to see more just like it, please hit like or subscribe to let me know.